Hi guys, and welcome back for another video here at Ricky's Vape Spot. Today we'll be taking a look at the PockeX, an all-in-one device by Aspire. So I actually had no idea that I found it out like 2 weeks ago, so that Aspire actually had an all-in-one device. And I wanted to take a look at it, and I actually wanted to make a comparison between the Joytech Ego AIO and the Aspire PockeX. But I gave my Ego AIO away, so I think it's now in good hands anyways. So anyways, I'm stuck with this one, but I can remember how it was vaping on the AIO and comparing it to this one. And another thing that I want to compare it with, since we are looking at starter sets, I want to see how this one compares actually to the K2 kit by Aspire. I know this is a much older device and stuff, but let's take a look at all of this from the I'm a smoker and I want to switch to vaping side. So I got this device in from MTM big thanks to them, and I will leave all the links down in the description box below as where you can get this one. So, but before we talk a little bit more about this device, let's go down to the table, have a closer look at it, and see what comes in the box. Okay guys, and here we are up close and personal with the Aspire PockeX. On the front we have the mod itself depicted, Aspire PockeX. On this side PockeX, Aspire, and on the back we do have some company infos as well as what's included in the package, as well as a scratch and check authenticity code here, and indicating the color here on the bottom. So we do have it in black, stainless steel, white, and rose gold. Let's open up the package. Inside we do have the user manual right here. Then the mod itself. This is the all-in-one style. We'll go over that in a second. And nothing much more inside the box except there's a warranty card here on the bottom, as well as a USB cable to charge your mod right here. And let's go over the device itself. So this is the PockeX by Aspire. On top we do have a drip tip. Now this drip tip is not your regular drip tip because it's actually functions the same as the Nautilus X. So we do have this outer sleeve of the mouthpiece here that goes over this one, and that's basically something that you're stuck with. On the side we do have the glass tank here. Here's the fire button. It's 5 clicks to turn it on and 5 clicks to turn it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it on again. Nothing much more here. Here on the bottom we do have the USB charging port as well as some battery venting on the side. So there's nothing much more to this mod except I'll show you how to fill it, how to change the coils, and some other things that you might need to be aware of. So I did use it, so that's why it's open. So once you actually open this one up, you see the O-ring sticks here, so you might want to take care that you always keep this one inside. Might fall out, so just be aware of that. Okay, so and here is the coil itself. We can unscrew the coil and take a closer look at it. This is the Nautilus X U coil, so we see that there is in and out for the air channels, and it basically what it does, it goes in a U shape through the coil and then actually, you know, brings vapor to your mouth. This is a 0.6 ohm coil, stainless steel, rated for 18 to 23 watts, and it's actually vaping and performing really nicely. So we'll put this back in here. This is basically also the way you change your coil. So in case you want to change your coil, you just take out the top cap here, unscrew the coil, and then put in a new one. And also make always sure you prime those coils. They do contain organic cotton, so you might want to keep that in mind. Always prime them, or just at least let them sit for a while in your tank. So now let's go to the tank section. What's different to this than to the for example Ego all-in-one style is this tank section here, you can take it apart. So in case you want to wash it, I mean, it does sit pretty firmly, but you need to be aware of not to mess around with it while you fill it, because you might get juice all over your hands. So once this is juiced up, it actually gets apart pretty easily. So you just be aware of that. On the other hand, this is a nice touch if you want to, I don't know, clean out, wash out the tank section and stuff like that. As well, here you go and get in with some paper towel and then just, you know, clean it out. So it's pretty good. As I said, just make sure that this tank section here doesn't fall off. Also, you have the maximum fill line right here, so you don't want to overfill this device. Let's put this back together again and line it up with the bottom here. Now the next thing you want to do is actually fill it to the maximum line here. I'll do that. And it's really easy actually to fill, because as you can see yourself, I mean, you just have to pour in your liquid. And then if you have a new coil, just prime the coils. We'll have them get going. And then stick in the top cap with the coil installed and just screw it down. The tank is now filled up and ready to go. The only thing you need to do is turn it on if it's not turned on. This one is, so yeah. So let's go back to top and have a vape and talk a little bit more about it. So as you saw in the close-ups, this is actually a fairly simple device. There's not much to it except, you know, put in your juice and vape it. If you've used the Aspire Nautilus X with their new coils, then you know exactly how this vapes. It's basically a starter set with their new U coils inside. So for me personally, there's a few downfalls to this device. One, there is no adjustable airflow. And while this is a good thing for new vapors, I think that this device is a little bit too open for a comfortable mouth-to-lung hit. Comparing it, for example, to this K2 Aspire starter set, this one does have a much more restricted draw than the PockeX. I can get a really comfortable mouth-to-lung hit out of this one. As with this one, I think the coil itself, it needs a little bit more airflow. So if you're used to really just like puffing on your device, this one won't get you that far. Let's take a little bit longer drag, mouth to lung. So if I'm taking this in as a regular mouth to lung vape, I almost get no restriction out of it. So this brings me to the point that this can easily actually be a restricted lung hit. Let's try that one. And working much better. So I think the design of these coils just they need more airflow, because I suppose, you know, the air has to travel through them and cooling down the coil and giving you that amount of vapor for you to be able to get the best out of it. So if you're on the lookout for something that will mimic your cigarette and you want to get off of cigarettes, I think personally that you will be much better off with this Aspire K2. I would even say that the restriction on the Ego AIO is much better than on this one. As it comes out of the box, you get what you get. If you are planning to get something like this, just make sure you try it beforehand and see if you like the draw. If you're looking, as I said, if you're looking for something that mimics more of a cigarette, then you are much better off with something like this, or probably the Ego AIO. Another kind of a downside of this device is I know how new vapors function, and I think that at least once they will knock down this tank when it's open and they will have juice all over their hands. Either from my perspective, they should have made it a little bit more tighter so you don't get the tank section off that easily, especially when it's all juiced up, or just leave this part out as it is. Other than that, I think it's pretty nice. So the coils itself are nice, and I think this device is nice for a restricted lung hit. I don't think it's a good option for a mouth to lung vapor, especially if someone is trying to quit smoking and they need that restriction that the cigarette gives them, I think this one is definitely too open for that. For the end, let's just go over a few specs. So this is a 2 ml tank, TPD compliant, USB charging, 1500 milliamp hour battery, 5 clicks to turn it on, 5 clicks to turn it off, set airflow, and set mouthpiece here. I actually do like this mouthpiece. I think this mouthpiece is small enough for what it's supposed to do. Actually never got it hot on me, so it's a big plus for that one. Let's check out the price point on these on MTM Store's website. It's 27.44 euros, coming out to roughly about 200 kunas. And for the coils itself, it's 3 euros and or 28.13 kunas, which is pretty good. So it is kind of a little bit more expensive than the Ego AIO and definitely more than the K2 starter kit, but it is what it is. If you like the looks, especially if you like, I don't know, the rose gold color stuff, I think you will kind of like those. Having that said, my next video is coming up. I think I will have it ready this weekend. It's for the Merlin Mini RTA system, and I really have to say I'm liking this one a lot, so stay tuned for that. I took some time to really get to know this tank, try out and test out all the options it comes with, so I think it might be kind of a longer video, but at least you will know all the details about the Merlin. So, and that's about it for today. I hope you did like this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot to me. You can also follow me on my Facebook page, my Twitter account, or my Instagram account. I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of the day. Let's keep on vaping, and I'll see you again pretty soon.